Welcome back to the grind for another Abyss guide. This is Apocalypse versus the Abyss Mephisto. Now, I don't have the clip of me getting Incinerate immunity. I was only using 20% revives for this. I do recommend healing up a bit or using a higher health revive because you have to take enough Incinerate damage until you go Incinerate immune, and it killed me, unfortunately. So with the 20% health, it wasn't quite enough. Now, again, with Mutant Champions, you can get those staggers on you, which is very nice to have some willpower healing. So actually triggering buffs on yourself throughout the fight can actually be very helpful to sustain your health throughout the fight when you do get those staggers onto you. Now, Apocalypse is a great option for Abyss Mephisto because after a short bit, I think it's 8 seconds of taking Incinerate damage, you will then go Incinerate immune. But you do have to have enough health to withstand that amount of time with an Incinerate. And obviously, you only want to have as little damage as possible. If he's got the aura active, you can't really control that except not, standing near him when he has multiple auras. Or if you get hit by a special one and only have one Incinerate on you, then that would also be okay. But obviously, you don't want to get hit if you don't have to. Now, this is Path 5, and it's for the Mutant Domination Challenge when I did this run. I am putting out a lot of different Abyss videos. I'm going to have a full Abyss guide, a full Path 5 Mutant Domination guide as well. So if you haven't seen that, take a look. But Apocalypse is an absolute powerhouse for this run as well as for this fight. So as you can see, we've already got the only 3 debuffs that we can get on him because he's immune to poison, and we threw our special 3 to make them permanent. And we have that damage over time constantly ticking, and it gives us the burst damage on our special attack. So the way you want to play this most efficiently is to primarily use heavy attacks and to use your special 1. So you get as many hits as possible with the burst damage. And the burst damage gets higher and higher if you have Strife on the team as well. And so Strife and Apocalypse are some of the main clearers for pretty much all the Abyss fights. There's a few that you would want like Red Magneto for ideally, and some other champions can do well also, but having those 2 champions on the team will cover a lot of ground for you. Another way to ideally do as much damage as possible with the number of skirmish charges you have is to wait until that gray timer before they say "hit me, I dare you" turns on, and then leave that as long as possible before you throw another heavy attack. Like here, you wait until it's close to going to the phase where you start losing charges, and then throw another heavy attack. And that helps you do as much damage over time as possible while you save your charges. Because if you just keep hitting into him over and over and over again, you're going to run out of charges faster, which means you have less time to do more damage over time. And Apocalypse has some decent damage over time. Now, I don't always work on doing that as efficiently as possible. Part of that is because I was using 20% revive, so a lot of the time if I was playing too slow or too careful, I wouldn't even live long enough in some fights where there's some block damage, or if I play too passively and then end up having to take some block damage while waiting things out, then that can cause issues. But there you can see I just parried, waited, and did a light attack just to trigger that timer again. And now again waiting, and then when it's about to expire, I dexed and threw a special attack, and then just kind of waiting for that timer. So I'm getting as much damage over time as possible. And that will allow you to do more damage overall, but it's a much slower pace and takes longer. So if you would rather throw an extra revive at a fight and just kind of play faster, that's an option for you as well. And that's what I did in most situations. But now you can see again, we're just kind of dexing around, waiting it out, parried when it triggered, did a little light attack there to turn it off, and again just waiting as much as possible, trying to let as much damage over time tick as possible and saving the last bit of those skirmish charges that we have, because we are already pretty far into the second stage of our charges. And now again we have a special 1, we're throwing off, we're baiting out that special attack, then we're just dashing in and throwing our special, and the burst damage is starting to get up there. It's over 15,000 damage, and remember this is only with 3 debuffs on him because we can't get the poison on. There's going to be some pretty nutty damage that we're going to see from Apocalypse in some other videos, so if you're interested, do check out the playlist that I'll have with all of those other clips in it, and they might all kind of bolus hit my channel all at the same time, because I want to make sure that I've got kind of everything in place and make sure that I'm utilizing my phone space well, because I was running out of phone space storage I think I've got the issues sorted out now, but at the time of recording it, there was some issues with my phone. So some fights I only have small clips of, but I hope that it's all still helpful. I don't think we'll watch the entirety of this clip because it's a bit on the longer side, but what we do want to show is he crossed 30% there, but he doesn't have any crossfight abilities. He doesn't regen in this fight, so you don't have to worry about that, which is something that's very nice to have. So that definitely makes this fight a little bit easier. Now we're going to skip ahead a little bit and take a look at this last heavy attack and special attack that we get to do. Look at that burst damage, again, with only 3 debuffs on. Now, unfortunately, we are out of skirmish charges. There's only 1 left, and so that pretty much does it for the rest of the fight. And I think I try to, drag out the fight a little bit longer, trying to dex and stay alive just a little bit longer so that there's more damage over time ticking. Not that it really makes much of a difference in this fight, but I hope that this video is helpful. Let me know what your thoughts are. Check out my playlist and some other Abyss guides, and I hope to see you in the next video.